folks. Welcome to Smile Healing Institute channel. Today's topic is activating the abundance frequency. What if I told you that abundance is not something you get? It's something you are. But what if I told you that there is a frequency of consciousness so powerful, so magnetic that when you align with it, you literally become a magnet for everything you desire? Right now, as you are listening to these words, you are either vibrating at the frequency of abundance or the frequency of scarcity. There is no middle ground. That means there is nothing called dual consciousness. And the universe, being pure energy and vibration, is responding to whatever frequency you are broadcasting by bringing you experiences that match your vibration. This is not wishful thinking. This is not positive thinking also. This is not positive psychology also. This is quantum physics meets consciousness. Research meets neuroscience. When you understand that everything in the universe is energy vibrating at different frequencies, including abundance itself, you realize that accessing abundance is not about working harder or being luckier. It's about learning to tune your consciousness to the frequency where abundance naturally exists. Now, let us understand in today's world how it's going. Today, we are going deep into the science of abundance. We are going to explore how your brain creates states, how your heart generates abundance, and most importantly, how to activate and sustain the abundance frequency so consistently that limitation becomes impossible in your experience. Because here is what I know with absolute certainty, with conviction abundance is your natural state, as we all know that. Scarcity is the learned condition, and today you're going to remember how to reach what we are. The quantum nature of abundance. Let me start by completely reframing now how you think about abundance. Most people believe that abundance is about having more money, more opportunity, more resources. But abundance is not a thing you acquire. Abundance is a field you access. At the quantum level, everything exists as pure potential energy before it manifests to physical form. There is literally a field of infinite possibilities surrounding you right now, containing every version of abundance you could ever imagine. The question is not whether abundance exists or not. The question is, are you tuned into the frequency that allows or allowed you to access it? Think about radio waves. Right now, thousands of radio stations are broadcasting through the space you are occupied. You can't see them. You can't hear them unless you have a receiver. But when you tune your radio to 103.5 FM, suddenly you hear that specific station clearly. Isn't it so? Contemplate. The station was always there. You just were not tuned to its frequency. Abundance works exactly the same way. There is an abundance frequency broadcasting constantly the quantum field. Most people can't access it because their consciousness, their receiver is tuned to scarcity frequency instead of abundance. Neuroscientist research shows that when you think thoughts of lack, limitation, and not enough, you create specific neural networks. These networks become so familiar, so automatic that they literally become your default personality, and your personality creates your personal reality. But here is the breakthrough. When you learn to think and act from abundance before you see evidence of it in the external world, you literally rewire your brain for reality. Tune your consciousness to the abundance frequency, where the universe responds by delivering experiences that match that frequency. The ancient Vedic tradition understood this perfectly. They thought that the universe operates on the principles of Purnam, infinite wholeness. From infinite wholeness, only infinite wholeness can emerge. Scarcity is literally impossible at the deepest level of reality. It only exists consciousness that has forgotten its true nature. Modern quantum physics confirms this ancient wisdom. The 0 point field, the very foundation of all existence, contains infinite energy. We are all literally swimming in an ocean of abundance. But most people are dying of thirst because they don't know how to drink from it. The neuroscience of scarcity versus abundance. Now, let's dive deep into aspect of what actually happening in your brain when you operate from scarcity versus abundance. Because understanding this gives you the power to consciously choose which frequency you broadcast. When you think thoughts of scarcity, I don't have enough. There is not enough time. I'm busy. I can't afford this. You yourself, your brain activates the limbic system, specifically the amygdala. This triggers your survival mechanism, flooding your system with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. In this state, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responding for or responsible for creativity, problem solving, and long term planning, goes offline. You literally become less intelligent, less creative, less able to see opportunities. Your perception narrows, focusing only on what's wrong, what's not happening, what's missing, what's tricky, what might not happen. These thoughts keep coupling the future. This is why people who operate from scarcity consciousness often work incredibly hard to achieve a result. They are literally using the part of their brain right, for survival, not for thriving. They are broadcasting the frequency of lack, and the universe delivers more lack to match that vibration. But when you shift into abundance consciousness, something extraordinary happens in your brain. Prefrontal cortex comes free online. Neural networks that normally operate independently suddenly starts communicating with each other. The brain begins producing a completely different cocktail of neurochemicals. Dopamine floods your system, giving you motivation and drive. Serotonin creates feeling of confidence and gratitude. Oxytocin generates connection and trust. GABA calms your nervous system, allowing you to think clearly and make better decisions. Neuroscientists research brain scans shows that people in abundant states usually have different brain activity than their state. The abundance brain is more coherent, more integrated, more capable of being patterns and possibilities that the scarcity brain completely misses out. But here is the most important part. These are not just temporary feel good states. When you consistently practice abundance consciousness, you literally rewire your brain structure. New neural pathways form, gray matter increases in areas associated with decision making and emotional regulation. You're literally evolving your brain to operate at the frequency of abundance. And the changes don't stop in your brain. When your consciousness shifts into abundance, your heart rhythm becomes coherent. The Heart Math Institute has discovered that coherent heart rhythms generate electromagnetic fields that extend 3 to 8 feet beyond your body. This field is constantly interacting with other people and the quantum field itself. You literally become a waking and also walking abundance generator that makes you understand how much it is important to tune to the frequency of abundance. Breaking the scarcity addiction. But let's be brutally honest about what you are working against here. You have been programmed for scarcity since childhood. You have been told that money does not grow on trees, that you have to work hard for everything, that there is not enough to go around. These beliefs are not just thoughts, they have become your identity. Your nervous system has become addicted to the familiar chemical state of scarcity. Your body literally craves the stress hormones that gets released when you worry about money or etc. When you focus on what you don't have, when you complete instead of collaborate. Every morning, you wake up and immediately check your bank account, your emails, your social media, feeding your consciousness. The same information that creates the same scarcity thoughts, that triggers the same survival mechanisms, so-called emotions, that signal the same genes, that create the same limited reality. You're trapped in what I call the scarcity loop, using your current circumstances to determine how you feel and then wondering why your circumstances never change. But here is what you must understand. Abundance is not about your circumstances. Abundance is not about what's in your bank account or what opportunities you can see. Abundance is about the frequency you embody independent of external conditions. The most abundant people in history, the great entrepreneurs, innovators, and creators were all learned to feel abundant before they had evidence of abundance in their external world. Everything happens twice, once in the mind and then in the reality. They learn to think from abundance, feel from abundance, and act from abundance, even when their current reality looked nothing like their vision. This is the ultimate test of consciousness. Can you be abundant when your bank account says you're broke? I understand. It's very difficult, right? Can you feel grateful when your circumstances suggest you should feel sorry for yourself? Can you embody possibility when everyone around you is focused on problems? Your ego mind will find this transformation with everything it has. It will tell you to be realistic, practical, logic, analytical mind. It will flood you with evidence of why abundance is not possible for you. It will remind you of every time you have failed, every limitation you have experienced, every reason why you are different from those who have achieved abundance. But this resistance is not your truth. It's your conditioning, fighting to survive every scarcity thought, every limiting belief, every moment of feeling not enough is simply old neural programming trying to maintain control. The moment you realize that you can choose your frequency independent of your circumstances, everything changes. You stop being a victim of conditions and start being a creator of them. The science of activating abundance frequency. So, how do you actually activate and sustain the abundance frequency? This is the very important question most people are wondering how it works. How do you rewire decades of scarcity programming and tune your consciousness to the field of infinite possibilities? It starts with the understanding that abundance is first and foremost an internal experience. That creates an experiential truth also, okay? You must learn to generate the feeling of abundance before you see the evidence of it in your external world. Here is a specific practice that will revolutionize your relationship with abundance. First, you must identify the feeling signature of abundance. Close your eyes and imagine what it would feel like to be truly abundant. Not just having money, but feeling completely secure, confidence with conviction, completely free, completely generous. How would your body feel? How would you breathe? How would you hold yourself? How would you interact with others? This is not visualization, this is embodiment. You're literally training your nervous system to recognize and maintain the energetic signature of abundance. Second, you must practice gratitude at a cellular level, but not gratitude for what you want, a genuine appreciation and authentic appreciation for what you already have. When you feel authentic gratitude, your heart rhythm becomes coherent, sending organized electromagnetic signals throughout your body and into the field around you. Research shows that just 3 minutes of focused gratitude can literally change your DNA sequence of expression. You're not just feeling good, you are signaling your genes to create proteins that support the health, vitality, and abundance. Third, you must combine this elevated emotion with clear intention. Feel the abundance you want to experience while holding crystal clear vision of how you want to serve, contribute, and create value in the world. The combination of elevated emotion and clear intention creates what quantum physicists call constructive interference. Your heart and brain working together to broadcast a coherent signal into the quantum field. But here is the key that most people miss. You must sustain this state long enough for coherence to build in your nervous system. Research shows it exactly takes approximately 15 to 20 minutes of sustained coherent practice to begin rewiring your brain, and approximately 30 to 60 seconds of sustained elevated emotion to begin influencing matter at the quantum level. This is why meditation is not just relaxation. It is a technology of abundance activation. It's how you learn to consciously regulate your internal state independent of external circumstances. But the practice does not end when you finish meditating. Every moment of your day becomes an opportunity to choose abundance frequency over scarcity frequency. When you are lying at the grocery store, instead of feeling impatient about time, you feel grateful for abundance of food. When you pay bills, instead of feeling depleted, you feel appreciation or appreciative for services received and money flowing through your life. You literally retrain your neural networks to look for abundance everywhere. What you look for, you find. What you seek, you shall find. One who shall have shall be given more. Live in abundance flow. When you truly activate your abundance frequency, something magical happens. You stop chasing abundance and start allowing it. You stop trying to force opportunities and start attracting them naturally. You stop competing with others and start collaborating with life itself. You begin to understand that abundance is not getting more. It's not about recognizing how much you already are and already have. You realize that the universe is not holding out on you. You have been holding out on yourself by operating at the wrong frequency. In abundance consciousness, every interaction becomes an opportunity to give. Every challenge becomes a chance to grow. Every setback becomes a setup for an even greater comeback. You stop asking, what can I get? And start asking, what can I give? And here is a beautiful paradox. The more you give from genuine abundance consciousness, the more the universe gives back to you. Not because you are trying to manipulate cosmic forces, but because giving from abundance literally tunes you to the frequency where abundance more naturally flows to you and also around you. Your relationships transforms because you're no longer coming from neediness or trying to get something from others. Your work becomes effortless because you are aligned with your natural gifts and passions. Your health improves because your body is bathed in the coherent frequencies of joy, gratitude, and love instead of stress and fear. Most importantly, you discover that you are abundance, not someone who has abundance, but someone who is the very expression of the universe, infinite creative potential. The ancient scriptures say perfectly, I am the way, not I am looking for the way or I hope to find the way, but I am the way. You are not separate from abundance. You are abundance itself. Temporarily forgetting your true nature. Your job is not to find abundance, attract abundance, or even create abundance. Your job is to simply to remember what you already are and tune your consciousness to broadcast that frequency consistently. The universe has been waiting your entire life for you to claim your abundance frequency. Every experiences you had, every challenge you have overcome, every moment of growth has been preparing you for this moment of activation. Right now, in this moment, you have everything you need to activate your abundance frequency. You don't need more education, more connection, more resources, or more time. You need only the willingness to shift your frequency from scarcity to abundance, from lack to fullness, from fear to love, which is nothing but unconditional love. The abundance field is broadcasting right now. The question is, will you tune in? Will you step into the frequency that is your birthright? Will you finally claim the abundance that the universe has been holding in trust for you? Your time is now, your moment is here. The infinite field of abundance is calling your name. Stop living from a limitation or delimitation. Stop accepting scarcity as normal. Stop waiting for permission to be abundant. Activate your abundance frequency. Become the abundance you seek. Transform not just your life, but everyone whose life you touch with your abundant presence. The universe is abundant, life is abundant, and you are the very expression of that abundance. Welcome home to your true nature. Welcome home to your abundance frequency. Welcome home to the magnificent abundant being you are always meant to be. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video.